YouTube, I'm back again. Today I'm doing a different style video than anything I've done so far. I'm going to do the actual conceptualization of a logo design, and I wanted this design to be kind of witchy, so it's going to really follow the whole Halloween theme. So this is kind of awkward for me because I've never done anything like this, so just stick around and hang in there with me today, and let's go ahead and get this started. This is going to be in about 2 different parts, I would imagine, because I can imagine this first part is probably going to be about the length of my normal video, so expect the second part to come out next Thursday. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to do with this logo is kind of the pencil. So don't mind me, I'm a lefty, so my left hand is kind of going to be in the way of the camera with the way that I have this light fixture set up. In future videos, if I do this again, I'll try and make sure that this doesn't happen. So the first thing I want to get started doing is kind of her forehead, and her forehead is going to be kind of rounded here, so let's put it right here. And of course it's all just light strokes so that I can get rid of this here, and then I'll kind of do that. What I'm doing here is I'm building something for her eye socket to go. I wanted to do a sort of pumpkin-y style witch here, something like you would see carved in a pumpkin. So I'm just gonna kind of give her that hollow look like you would see in a pumpkin design. And what I'm gonna do is try to detail it the same way that you would see a pumpkin detailed, and that way it can kind of follow the same theme. Now, if you know anything about Halloween or witch designs, you know that they typically look extraordinarily old. So when I do a design like this, what I want to portray is exactly that. I want her to look extraordinarily old, and I want her to look like a meth head. Uh-oh, got an intruder. Intruder kitty. He's messing with the lighting. Oh no. You see this guy here? This guy is the reason for all video troubles that I have. That's right, all the loud noises going on in the background. This is the cause of it right here. This weird little kitty cat playing with my eraser. I see how it is. Now I gotta set this camera up again. Hey buddy. Okay, so I dealt with the cat. Okay, so if you can't really see what's going on here, I do apologize. I'm trying to do light pencil strokes. So I do apologize for that, but as soon as I get to the pen strokes, you guys will be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm kind of giving her those weird looking teeth that they have in those pictures, and of course the crazy extra jawline that she has. Okay, so let me just erase this a little bit here and get these lines about the size that I want them, and that's why we do it in pencil. Okay, so get that there, and then okay, so I got kind of the base outline of her face going on here. Now what I want to do is give her a crazy little witch's hat. That's gonna kind of roll with her here. And of course I don't want the lines to be perfect, so there we go. Now she's got it, and I want to take this here and have that go down and around. Draw her a little belt on her hat here. Just because, I mean, you gotta have a belt, right? Gotta have a belt. Okay, so the next thing it's gonna do is it's gonna kind of wrap down right here in a weird witchy kind of way, because nothing about the anatomy of the design of the witch really makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, and when I get to the coloring, I want to actually add a little bit of coloring here on these stripes and give it that sort of stripy hat coloring that you see in, well, I don't know, like the Wicked Witch of the West. She's an angry witch, but you know, she's not without reason. She's not, you know, she has a little bit of a soul going on here. So now I'm gonna give her that kind of dead looking, like she hasn't showered in 500 years kind of hair look, you know, just like she's a meth head, you know what I mean? So, and we'll do that by doing this and curling it around like so. And if you look, I didn't quite get the sizing right on the paper here. I may have drawn her just a little bit too big, but that's all right. As long as we get all the spacing right here. Correct. Okay. Throwing a line here, throwing a line here, and bada bing, bada boom. That's exactly what she says when she does her spells. You know what I mean? Bada bing, bada boom. So there you go. Now we got the basic kind of outline of her done. So now let's make her look a little angry and a little old at the same time. So let's just kind of give her this eyebrow here that looks like she's up to no good at all. And you know what? Let's make it extra fluffy because she is 5,000 plus years old. So there we go. She's got that fluffy, extenuated eyebrow. You know what? Let's give her eyebrow some wrinkles as well, because she's an old lady. She's a very old lady. We want to portray that she's about, you know, 5,000 years old. So let's make her look like she's 5,000 years old, guys. So let's give her, you know, wrinkles, and her wrinkles will have wrinkles, and then we'll wrinkle up some wrinkles, and we'll just throw that in there, you know, throw in some of that going on. This is a nostril here, so let's make that look a little bit more like a nostril, and give her some wrinkles around her nostril there. You know what, let's put one here, and just like an old lady that's constantly smiling, we'll give her wrinkles there. You know, her face is cracked because she's just so old. She's lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years on this world. You know, you could even say thousands upon thousands of years with 5,000 years old. She's just old, you know. She is just one old lady. So there we go. She's looking like she's about 5,000 years old now. She is an old lady. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the next phase, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to ink her now. So if you guys had a little bit of trouble seeing her up until this point, when I ink her, you're going to be like, wow, I wish that I could just keep her remained unseen, if you know what I mean. So we're just going to go basically on her lines here. And you know what? I'm realizing now that this table is not the most even surface to draw on, but that's okay, because she's old, you know, just like an old person. This table has stories to tell, and you know what? This table adds to the many wrinkles of her face, because it's causing me to sort of mess up on my design here. it's causing the lines to not look the most straight that they possibly could be. And you know what? If she's old, we can't have straight lines anyway. So there we go. We got her a little bit of a hat going on here. Let's move this around here. Perfect. Go down here. As you guys can see, this hat is pretty exaggeratingly big. And you know what? That's perfectly all right, okay? Because this hat has had 5,000 years to grow. So this hat has plenty of stories to tell, just like her. And you know what? Witches like cats. So I've always wondered, you know, if a witch is 5,000 years old, how many cats are they going to go through in a lifetime? Like, do they just start obtaining cats once they hit year 1,000? Is that kind of their pre-pubescent cat period? Or do they start obtaining cats when they're, you know, like 13 or 14 years old? You know, it kind of makes me wonder, and it makes me almost feel bad for these cats, because these cats, they're just another one to this witch. Think about how many cats she goes through. She has to go through at least 1,000 cats in her lifetime. You know what I mean? So after 1,000 different cats, they start to think that Chardonnay is exactly like Leroy. You know, they have the exact same personality. And then what happens if they accidentally call Chardonnay Leroy sometimes? They don't even have the same parts, and yet she's accidentally calling them the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times is she going to refer to Chardonnay as Leroy before she understands that they are two different cats? Sure, they're both a gray tabby cat, but who really cares? You know what I mean? They're still two different cats. So anyway, if we are designing a witch that has had 1,000 different cats in her lifetime, if we're designing a witch that is 5,000 years old, she needs to look like she's had a few cat scratches. So some of these are not wrinkles. Some of these are actually scars from cat scratches, because she called them the wrong name. Maybe she fed them the wrong tuna. Maybe she fed them bad tuna. What if she fed them tuna that was like 1,000 years old? Then of course she's going to have cat scratches, because these cats are going to be upset with her. And can you really blame them? If you were fed tuna that was 1,000 years old, would you be upset too? I know I would, that's for sure. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to shade in her angry eyebrow. And we're not going to shade it in all the way, because as soon as this gets to Illustrator, you know, we'll just do the fill button to get it looking good. But I just want to have sort of a reference for when I actually get to the fill part of Adobe Illustrator, and I want to be able to know what I need to do. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw her angry eye right here. And we want the eye to look angry, but we also want it to look kind of scary. So let's leave that part of the eye white and shade this part of the eye in right here. Now she looks like she's been around for a while. She has seen all the things there are to see. And I'm not just talking about from all the different cat scratches she has acquired in her lifetime. I'm talking about she has really gotten around, man. You know, when she uses that spell to make herself look like a young witch lady, at that point, you know, she can really get around as much as she wants to. And I'm not going to be too weird about it, guys, but this witch, think about it. She's done more than I have, that's for sure. It's been 1,000 years. She's done more than I have. And she's probably done more than you have, too. You know, if I were to be able to live 1,000 years, I would want to be able to cast a spell on myself to make me look like I was 13 or 14 or however old she makes herself look. You know, she could make herself look like she's 100 years old if she wants, and she could probably still go crazy with some 90-year-old men. But whatever she does, she can't make herself look 5,000 years old, because if she makes herself look that old, The only people she's gonna impress are vampires or werewolves. And let's face it, nobody wants a sparkling boyfriend. Even if you are 5,000 years old, I think at that point you would especially not want a sparkling boyfriend, because you've seen all different types of men out there, you know what I mean? So a sparkling boyfriend would just be like, ugh, really? You're just gonna sit there and sparkle while the world is falling apart? Although, do you really think that she would think that? You know, I wonder if she would think that, because I feel like she would be like, you know what? All these people are over here saying the world is going to end, the world is going to end. And I've lived for 5,000 years, man. I know the world is not going to end like they say it is. At least, not as soon as they say it is. So there we go. We've kind of given her the accentuated cheekbones, and we've given her wrinkles to show that maybe once upon a time she was having a good time. Maybe. She may have been having a good time. But you know what? Nowadays, she just really is not having the time of her life anymore. But you know what? She still looks like she's having some fun. And I think that's all that really matters, you know. If I was 5,000 years old, I would want to look like I'm still having a good time. And she looks like, even though she hasn't trimmed her eyebrows in 100 years, she might still be having a good time with life. You know, it's one of those things where life has really been going on for a long time, and you just don't care anymore, you know what I mean? You're like, what is the purpose for all these things that I do? Why do I want to trim my eyebrows? I mean, I'm still going to be 5,000 years old tomorrow, you know what I mean? So why do I want to trim my eyebrows? Especially if I can just cast a spell on myself to make myself look young again. So I decided to give her a little wart. I didn't do the wart, but you know what I was thinking? I was thinking if she didn't trim her eyebrows in 5,000 years, she has not put any Proactive on in 5,000 years either. So I decided to give her a little bit of a wart to just kind of show that. So we're kind of coming in on the finish of this design here, and I hope that you guys got a good background for who she is, how many cats she's had through her period of life, how old she is, you know, how much fun she's actually had over the past 5,000 years. And I hope that you guys got something out of this video, and you think about a witch in a different sort of way than what you thought about them before. And I hope that you guys can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and join me next time for when I do the actual illustrator portion of this design, when I probably won't be telling you her full backstory anymore, because, you know, I've already told you all of her backstory, and I hope that you guys understand that 5,000-year-old people still need love too. Everybody needs love, so don't go hating on witches just because they're old. You know, look at her. She looks like she wants to have a good time too. We all want to have a good time, whether we're 5,000 years old or 2,000 years old. We all want to have a good time in life. And her way of having a good time in life may just be tricking, you know, 16-year-old girls into giving them her body, or giving her their body. I'm sorry, excuse me there. And do we really want to be angry at her for just wanting to have a good time? I mean, her nostrils are literally the size of Paris. Of course, she wants to do something to hide that without having to actually manicure herself, because she's 5,000 years old. Think of how many times she's manicured herself in her lifetime. Quite a bit. So, there she is, my people. She's looking like she's ready to party this Halloween, and that is exactly what she's going to be doing. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please subscribe to me, and leave a nice comment for me down below, and let me know what you guys think of this 5,000-year-old witch, and I will see you guys next time when we do the illustrator portion. Bye.